Regarding the last two games, would you call this an adverse situation for you guys, or is this just Big East play?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I mean, you're going to play really good teams. It's hard to win in other, people's buildings, and give Villanova and Providence credit. They played well. We got a lot to work on, and anxious to sort of turn the page and get ready for a really good opponent in Creighton tomorrow.
How did the adversity you guys faced down the stretch last year, the 6-game losing streak, do you feel like that helped inform the way you handle adversity this year?
I think it gives our guys a perspective that they otherwise wouldn't have had. But we still have to figure out a way to get through the fire and be better because of it. And each team is a little different from the last. And I think when you have seniors, it makes you feel really good. But again, it doesn't make our job any easier. Creighton's got a really good team. They play fast. They play together. They play loose. And we're going to have to be a better version of ourselves than we've been the last week or so.
Taking something positive out of the last two, especially with Cameron's seeing himself involved in this system, that has to be positive for you to see.
Yeah, Cameron's played well, and we need him, to continue to play with a lot of confidence. I think he's one of the better interior players in the entire Big East. It's an awfully good feeling when he gets the ball down low because you feel like he's scoring or he's drawing a double team and he can kick the ball out. But it's in football. You got to play both sides. You got to be able to play defense, and I think Karam's defense has come a long way, but it's got a long way to go. And he's not the only one. Trust me when I say that. So, we'll see how much that affects his playing time and going forward. But he's a big part of our team.
With Trayvon, he's been around the program for so long and he's accomplished so much. Is he a guy you just kind of let figure this out himself, or is there anything you as a coach can do to kind of help him get out of his little slump?
Well, I want him to know that I have the utmost confidence in him as a player. And I think every player, I don't care how talented they are, how hard they work. Every player goes through times where things don't go well for them. And I think Trey has the character and the makeup. To bounce back and become a better version of himself as we move forward. Matt Stainbrook, totally complete different players, and he visited practice the other day. I remember his senior year, like he was really bad for about a stretch of 4 or 5 games, and then ironically, we go to Creighton on senior night there, and he's by far the best player on the court. So, it's just a matter of those guys continuing to believe in themselves, even when things aren't going as well as they would like. And staying aggressive. And I think if Trayvon does that, he'll be fine and we'll be fine.
You get, obviously, a really big game here tomorrow. Creighton's a great team. But how much can just being back home here at Cintas Center, the success you guys have had here, how can that be a remedy, do you think, to just this losing streak?
Well, our fans have been phenomenal all year long. I mean, they've done a really good job of staying behind the team, even when we've had some really large deficits to overcome. But I'm not necessarily worried about, being in front of our crowd and playing in our home. It's like, I don't want to say that's a given, but I know what our fans are going to do. I'm more concerned about fixing a couple things offensively and defensively. And if those things are in place, then all the other factors will certainly, help. But I'm more concerned about the guys on the floor and figuring out a way to make them better.
You glad Marcus Foster is a senior?
Yeah, I'm glad every good player is a senior. So he's a good player, really good.
Yeah, he's playing at a higher level maybe than he finished last year at, which is hard to imagine. What can you say about his game coming in here? He's been particularly hot of late.
Yeah, I mean he's an all-conference player, and he showed that in the Big East semifinals when. Our Big East all-caliber player, Trayvon, hit a 3 in front of our bench, and he showed no hesitation in doing the same thing with 10 seconds left in the game on the other end of the floor. So, every player in our locker room has their radar up and the attention span, not only of Marcus, but their entire team, because the way they play, they space the floor. They've added a replacement for Justin Patton, who gets more lob dunks than maybe anybody in our league. And again, it's a credit to how they play, and our focus is going to be tested.